Hey everybody, it is Kulipup here, and I'm just making a really quick video to hopefully help you out with some spells. This video is specifically for the subconscious spells, because I know a lot of people in my group are raising frequency so high, but unfortunately we're getting to the point where your subconscious is becoming a super nuisance. Silly subconscious entity programs. Anyway, so in this video, I'm just going to go through the 5 basic points that you need to remember when making a spell, and also the spells that I have done for my subconscious entity programs. Now, these spells may not be exactly the way you want to say them, because you do have to marry your mind and your heart together when you're saying them, but it gives you the kind of rough draft of what you can do, what you can use to create your own spell. Or by all means, if my spell works for you, then that's great too. You could totally do that. Now, things that you need to remember when you are making a spell. One is always to be your true self. Okay, so you've got to drop that ego. You've got to kill off your character. If my name was Juliet, that's on my birth certificate. I can't be Juliet if I'm going to say an accurate spell. I have to be Kulipup, and so on. That goes along with that. I have beeping. I'm just going to turn that down. Anywho's, so you've got to always be in yourself, or another way of saying it is be within your crown, dropping your ego. And there's, of course, clear reasons for this, which I'll mention in a second. The next, you are going to use your true name. Okay, so again, if my name is Juliet, or that was what was on my birth certificate, I'm not going to say, I am Juliet and I want this and that for the spell, because you're not going to have enough power. You need to use your true name. And in the spell that I'm going to recite in just a moment, you're going to hear how difficult that can be as you get a little bit further up. And if you're just like, oh crap, will my name get this long? Yes, it will eventually, if you do choose to raise your frequency this high anyway. And yeah, you're going to have to use your full name if you want to use this spell. Now, the next thing you need to do is, of course, be clear and pronunciate. Really, really important. Be clear and pronunciate. You can't be mumbling on a spell. What if the fairy godmother said, abracadoola, mentadoola, Cinderella would probably turn into the pumpkin, rather than the pumpkin turning into a carriage, right? You can't mumble. You've got to pronunciate. Your pronunciation and your clarity in your voice and the will behind your voice is how you are telling your energy, or how you're telling your energy what to do, or what it is that you want it to do. Because each sound that you create through your thoughts and then through your mouth resonates on a different frequency. A different frequency is a different command. Okay, just the same way when you are typing on your keyboard, if you want D, but you keep hitting the B button, all you're going to get is B's. You're not going to get D. You've got to hit the right frequency. And to do that, pronunciation. Okay, clarity and pronunciation. Number 4 is, of course, marrying your heart and your mind together. This is going to be a key activator of your spell. So if you are trying to make a spell for example, if you want to silence your subconscious, right? Like in your mind, you're just saying, I just want you to shut up. But in your heart, you're like, I want you to die. Right? There's going to be a disparity there. So you need to make sure that in your heart and in your mind are the same messages, okay? Because only then will you be able to activate your energy. Now, I am going to be doing a video today, or not a video, a lesson today, a live lesson, and I will repost that as well, but we're going to go more into energy, and it's an energy healing and ethereal cord cutting lesson. However, I will be putting in some information in there in terms of the physical explanation of why your mind and your heart, or how your energies, like which one is which, right? Like where do they come from and how you actually use those. So anyway, again, you always have to marry your mind and your heart together in order to activate your spell. And lastly, at the very end, oops, I just said that. You are going to look up, down to your right, and then your left, preferably with no lenses on. So no glasses or no lenses on. So you do your spell, and this is my right, of course. I know you're looking at me from an opposite angle, but I'm going to look up, down, right, left. Okay. That actually solidifies your truth, or solidifies the truth within what you are saying or what you are doing, or what the spell you are casting. Because you have to think, when we are dealing with our subconscious program entities that are around us and manipulating things, they know the rules of this game, and you don't. You still have to find the rules out as you're playing it and as you're going along. I'm going to give you, of course, as much as I can give you, but it's a lifetime worth of information, and you're going to have to do some work to find out all these rules. But your subconscious knows all these rules. So one of these rules is up, down, right, left. That solidifies your truth. However, what you may find is that you may find that your subconscious is trying to make you do the opposite, going up, down, to the left, and then to the right. Now, don't do this. And you will feel, as you progress, you will feel, and your entities get stronger, you're going to feel the physical pull of your head to go up. And then it's going to feel like somebody has their hand and trying to make you do this motion backwards. Okay? Don't do it, because what that does is that does the opposite. It solidifies confusion within you. It allows your entity to say, hey, you've done this spell, but you've made this insignia backwards. So meaning you are reinforcing a lie, right? You don't want to do that. So again, you look up, down, to the right, to the left. Don't close your eyes while you're doing it. You don't want to, because the line of vision is what is making this insignia, okay? And that is what is going to stop your subconscious from being able to do a lot of things, okay? So really, really important that you kind of do that one and you kind of get that one going. Right, so now, just, I don't want to make this too long, because I know I can have a video go on for like 45 minutes, and I'm like, yeah, 10-minute video. This is terrible. So why do you always want to be in your true self and use your name and be clear and pronunciate? Why are these the top 3 things that you need to do? Well, for one, if you are within your ego, or sorry, the name that you are using, who you believe you are, is how much power you will have when doing this spell. So, for example, my full name is really, really long, and I'm going to read it to you in just a moment. If I don't use that full name, and if I don't believe I am that person, then that frequency, the power that is held within that name, will then dwindle to whatever name that I've chosen to use. So if I wanted to delete my subconscious frequency, but I was too lazy to say my entire name, and I just said, I, Kulipup, just want to delete my frequency, my conscious body frequency, what will then happen is that my subconscious body, or conscious body entity, whatever, the entities that are around me, who are of the frequency of my full name, will have way more power than the power I've actually put into this spell. So if I were to believe I was Juliet, and I were to just say, I, Juliet, wish to erase my subconscious programming, Juliet doesn't have that much power. Juliet has no power. But if I were to say, I am Kulipup Atenka Noah, hey, and you're going to hear all the rest of it in a minute, then I am invoking the power of my frequency, which I have earned. I've earned all that power. I'm using everything in the bank, and it's going straight at whatever I am directing my focus to. So that's why it's so important. And again, the pronunciation is so important, because when you're throwing that much power, or when you're throwing the power that you truly possess into a certain focus point, you want to make sure it's the right focus point, right? You don't want to have a gun and just fire it off into the wilderness. No, you got to pronunciate. And your pronunciation and your clarity is what will make you point your energy right in the right direction to bring you the result that you've actually wanted, or the result that you require. So that is definitely what you need to do. Okay, so that's the importance of using your name. Now I'm going to have to look over here because again, I have written everything down. So one of the first, the three spells I'm going to demonstrate for you today is going to be how to delete your subconscious or conscious body program. To be honest, you can use the spell to delete any program that you want. So when I say any program that you want, I also mean if you have an individual who is being attacked by an entity and you have your power and you know, you can then use this spell to eliminate or delete that entity as long as you are above power with them from this game. That's why, you know, when people are just like, oh, can you get rid of an entity? I'm like, yeah, tell me where they are. Like, let me put my focus on it. Whoosh, get them gone really quickly and you don't have to do much. The next one I'm going to teach you is the no lies. Oh, sorry. With the subconscious deletion, this spell can be used when you have either gained more power than your subconscious, and you've not faltered with any you've gotten through all the lies and stuff, or if your subconscious or whatever program, body program, entity, or whatnot has conceded to you. If they've given up, when they give up, they kind of ask for deletion sometimes. Because I've had plenty go like, you know what? Can you just delete me? Or eliminate me. There's no point in me being here. Absolutely no point. And I'm like, cool, out you go. Or you do it by force. But to be honest with you, I normally just do this deletion now when they ask me to. Otherwise, I'm like, you're the next one that comes in is going to absorb you anyway, so I don't really give a crap. Why waste my energy? I'm just going to keep on raising. So that's that one. The next one that I'm going to give you is the no lies to you. Your subconscious entity and your conscious body programs will always be lying to you. They will always cause you some sort of deceit, some sort of confusion or whatnot. So with this spell, it is one that makes it so that they cannot lie to you. Okay? And so what I basically do with this spell is if a lie comes to my ears or within my thoughts, it sounds like gibberish and I'm not able to understand it. So how that kind of works is that my subconscious entity would start speaking and they'd be like, I would like you to, and I'm like, I don't know what you said because you're lying and I don't need to hear a lie. So good day. Or I'll often say like, you can come back to me when you can tell the truth. And that's it. And then I'm free to ignore it because I'm not going to sit there and try to decipher gibberish. I'm not going to sit there and try to decipher a lie. Stupidness. Anyway, but what that does though is it works not only just for your subconscious entity program, but also for anything that wants to talk to you or communicate with you, but doing it within a lie as well. So you're just not going to be able to understand it. Now, the last one is the no lies from your subconscious specifically, because sometimes you're going to need to reinforce this. You're just going to need to reinforce it. So you've got no lies to you, but then you want to use your subconscious's name specifically. Now, this spell also allows them to speak truth because your subconscious program entity is actually programmed to not speak to you. And this is to not speak the truth to you. And this is something I discovered because I had one of my entities who was trying to concede to me, but it couldn't concede to me. And I'll tell you, it's because of one of the spells that I had written before when I connected it to a song. And he was just kind of like, I don't want to do this, but I can't. I have to. It's part of my programming. And I'm like, oh, part of your programming, eh? Reprogram now. There you go. Now you can speak only the truth. And we could move on from there. So that's going to be for that one. And lastly, I'm just going to tell you a couple of funny kind of tricks that I did to counter some of the force that was coming to me. So these are more of cheeky little spells that you can do just to kind of have fun and be fun. Because at the end of the day, when you are raising frequency, when you're getting through these levels, we have to remember not to take life so seriously. Okay? You have to remember that you are simply in a game. You are simply in a computer simulation. You are not physically moving. When you get up and your body starts to walk, you're in one stagnant position and just around you is being made for you. Although it feels like you're walking, it feels like you're moving forward when you're not really. You're in one place and a simulation is going on around you. So you might as well enjoy it. You might as well have fun, and you might as well giggle sometimes, or all the time, because when you get too bogged down in it, you can end up lowering your own frequency just because you're taking things far too seriously and you're too grounded within this earth. So be wary of that. Now, on to the spells. You are going to have to listen to my entire name. Now, if I make a mistake, I tell you, I have to redo it. Okay? This is part of being pronunciating and being clear. And also it marries with your heart and your mind as well. So for example, if I'm going through my spell and I mess up halfway through it, my focus, my heart and my mind then go from what I'm doing to, oh bugger, I totally screwed up. So then I'm telling the universe with my energy, oh bugger, I screwed up. So you have to start again. All right. So I'm going to try my best not to do this too many times, but please do appreciate my frequency is just recently went really, really high. And I've already had to add on at least how many letters, at least 10 or 12 letters. I'm looking at counting them since I tried to make this video this morning, but my kids were being too loud because they were doing their chores. So anyway, bear with me a little bit. Okay. So firstly is the subconscious deletion, or the program or entity deletion. So this is what I'm going to be saying. I'm going to be saying my name, and I'm also going to be saying the name of the entity or the program, or putting my focus on what I am deleting. Okay. Now my subconscious entity program has the exact same name as me, except for it has an A at the end rather than an A. So you're going to hear a lot of this in a second. Okay. I, Kulipup atenka noa hea he ostas sors el lequis lorting zors tors ilhumna to hac nom shalan ona comprende sola sting pregna sola. I'm going to have to do that one more time. Because if you heard me there, I buggered up on the tolhak and the shalast. Ona comprenda solasta impregna sola. By the way, I don't speak any other languages, and this is something that's really cool. When you raise frequency, you kind of get a little bit, understanding comes a little bit better. I'm like, shoot, I can speak now, which is awesome. Okay. I, Kulipup atenka noa hea osta sorts el lequis lortings horis torst ilhumna tolhak nom shalast ona comprenda solasta impregno sola. It is my will that my entity program, Kulipup atenka noa hea ostasa sorts el lequis lortings horis torst ilhumna tolhak nom shalast ona comprenda solasta impregna sola sole, be eliminated from this game of life and its frequencies deleted, never to be in existence again. This is my will, let it be so. So that is a spell that I would have to say. So with you, what you're going to do is you're going to say I am, or I, and then your full name, your name. It is my will. So let's say if my name was just Kulipup, I, Kulipup, I apologize because I realized I've typed this not correctly there. So you can say, I am Kulipup. It is my will that my entity program, Kulipup, A, be eliminated from this game of life and its frequency deleted, never to be in existence again. This is my will. It is, let it be so. I say it is done, but you could say let it be so. So again, that's going to delete it. The no lies to you. This is what you're going to say with it. I, Kulipup atenka noa hea ostas sorts lequis lortings ors torst ilhumna tolhaknom shalast ona comprenda sola sta impregna sola. It is my will that lies, deceit, manipulation, coercion, malfeasance, or false truths that are communicated to me through my ears, thoughts, or my mind will be illegible and sound like gibberish. Only source truth and the truth of my heart will have clear communication. This is my will. It is done, or let it be so. Okay. So that is the no lies to you. Of course, I'm going to be putting this in the description as well. So if you're watching this on Facebook, then I will put this in the description in the comments. If you are watching this on YouTube, just scroll down a little bit to the description, and I will have this spell laid out there, but without my full bloody name in it. Now, if you are wanting no lies from your subconscious, this is one I would put down. It is my will that my subconscious entity program, I'm just going to say Kulipup. It is my will that my subconscious entity program, Kulipup, I've already given up. I've already made these spells, by the way, so I don't really need to do them again. I just thought I'd show you what it's like, but clearly this is too much for even me to say all the time. Yeah. It is my will that my subconscious entity program, Kulipup, will only speak truth, as if it tries to speak lies, deceit, manipulation, coercion, malfeasance, or false truths that are communicated to me through my ears, thoughts, or my mind will be illegible and sound like gibberish. This is my will. Let it be so, where it is done. That is what I would say for the no lies. So let's just go through those really, really quickly. So when you are saying this with the subconscious deletion, if you want to rewrite these spells, and that's absolutely fine, but what you're really doing is you want it to be eliminated from this game of life, or you can also put in from this matrix game of life. No. You could just say game of life, because that kind of means everything too. So eliminated from this game of life and its frequencies deleted, never to be in existence again. So that is literally you saying, hey, it's eliminated from this entire game and its frequency cannot be found, right? So if there was some other entity like your conscious body entity who wanted to try to find your, or try to recreate your subconscious, because they can trigger feelings inside you that will recreate your subconscious. Because your subconscious program is is created based on your feelings. If you feel doubt, if you feel fear, because if you put it this way, your subconscious is just fear. So if you feel fear, you are thus with your own ability summoning it and bringing it out, because you're like, I feel fear. Now, when you get up into the higher levels, don't get me wrong, this it's shorter and shorter and shorter and shorter. And with that, you're probably like, well, Kulipup, you must feel fear then. And of course I do. Sometimes I feel fear for the world, with things I see. I feel fear that people won't accept the truth at times, and it will lead to our downfall. There's plenty of things to, well, not plenty of things I fear, but things like that is what I fear. I don't fear anything for myself and my own safety and everything. I know I'm good there. I'm not writing anything into my timeline that can bring me fear. I don't fear for my children. I don't fear for my husband. I don't fear for anything else. But the fears of mankind, those ones are a little shitty. But anyway, every day I'm clearing those out. Little by little, I'm clearing them out. And that's why I have a new subconscious program every 15 minutes, 10 minutes. Because again, it just keeps going up and up and up. Now with the no lies to you, again, you are saying, you're basically discussing a lie in all its forms, whether that be lie, deceit, manipulation, coercion, malfeasance, or false truth, anything that is not the truth. That is what you're saying there. And same with the no lies from your subconscious specifically. You've noticed it's quite similar, but just has a little bit. Now, going on to the funny kind of spells or things that I did. When I was having an onslaught of attack, and because I would change my tactics so often, if you did this, I would do that. If you did this, I would do that. And it was one of those things where you don't use the same move twice, or you can't use it twice, because if you do use it again, I'll notice, and then we have to move on. So it was real back and forth. And one of the things that I noticed, though, was that I'm a musical individual. I love music. I love jazz. I love old school kind of R&B and everything like that. You know, when artists actually sang because they enjoyed themselves, because they had a talent that they had to prove. Anyway, so one of the songs, I noticed that kept coming up in my head, and I don't even know what the song is, but but the words were from it, because it was a guy singing this to a girl. So it's like, once you're in my heart, I'm thinking I'm invincible. I love you, girl. That was one of the songs. And I always wondered, I'm like, I don't mind that song, but it's not necessarily something I'm like, wow, I really love that song. It resonates with me so much. But I found that it kept coming up and coming up. And once I have a song in my head, I tend to want to play it out. And I'm like, yeah, la, la, la. Because I've been using songs. I use songs all the time. Like when I would have times where I couldn't focus very much, or I was, not that I couldn't focus, I was too focused on a task, and I was maybe not paying attention to who was calling me, you know, because my ears pop when I know a spirit or an entity or whatever, whoever wants to talk to me, my ears pop. And let's say I was ignoring that. And one of the things I had was my husband's spirit. He would send me you know that song by her, which is like, can you focus on me? That one, like, baby, can you focus on me? And I'm like, oh shit, sorry, babe. I was supposed to speak to you because you were trying to get a hold of me. And I would ignore it. So when I heard that song, I would just be like, oh crud, yeah, what's up? And I had a lot of things like that. So anyway, I heard this song in my head, and my subconscious entity was, every time he had, because they can go in your brain and they can make connections where you don't want them to be connected. They can disconnect connections that marry your mind to your heart and everything. But anyway, so this entity specifically was using this song to manipulate my emotions in order to further its own need. Like, what specifically was it doing with that song? It was trying to harvest energy from me every time I heard that song. So every time I heard that song in my head and took to it, it would open me up in order to try to get more energy. So what I did was, I'm like, screw you, you little shit. So I said instead, and you have to remember the subconscious entity program, when you are a woman, the fastest and best way it can siphon energy from you is the consent of an orgasm, is the consent for it to go into your bits to siphon off that love energy, right? So it's always, so the male subconscious entity is all, and if you are a female, it will always try to seduce you. Terribly seduce you, but it will always try to seduce you. So this is why I say this. So when I discovered this, I then went, okay, well, you little shit, you wanna force a song on me because I know I let songs play. I then said in a spell, I said, I am Kulipup Noah, hey, so on. And it is my will that every time I sing the song, because once I'm in your heart, I'm thinking I'm invincible. I love you, boy. Every time I said that phrase, it was literally saying, I'd say, I'm Kulipup Noah, hey, and when I sing these words, because once I'm in your heart, I'm thinking I'm invincible. I love you, boy. My subconscious program entity will be flaccid. Not flatulent, flaccid. Meaning that every time I sang that, my subconscious entity program will not be able to siphon energy from me, because they need a phallus in order to extract the energy. And I said, okay, that's fine. Every time I sing this, though, you're going to go limp. You won't be able to do it. And I tell you, there was a period I could not even remember this song. Because after I made that spell, I was like singing. I'm like, woo, yeah. Because if you look at the words, I changed it slightly. And I said, because once I'm in your heart, I think I'm invincible. I love you, boy. You know? And so that pissed him off, I tell you. So that song was just blocked, immediately just blocked from my thoughts. So I didn't have to worry about hearing that on repeat anymore. And then what I did was I reversed it too. There's a Jill Scott song I really love, and it's called He Loves Me. And I absolutely love that song. I love Jill Scott. And so what I did was I attached that to my husband's, I made a spell in regards to my husband's spirit. So I would sing the He Loves Me, it's special, you know, like, just like I'd start singing it. And what that did was that then heightened the love, attraction, and energy within my husband. Because I said, like, oh, every time I sing this song, the feelings, the true feelings of the heart of my husband, which is my twin flame again, will be amplified. And as we did that, I would sing this, it would amplify his energy. So that when we did make love in the physical, you know, in the physical, there was an amplification of energy boosted for us both. So I'm like, fine, if you little subconscious turd wants to take energy, well, I'm going to make you flaccid, and I'm going to increase the energy from my husband. So you're going to get eliminated real quick. Bang. Do not worry. If you do not have a twin flame or you do not have a partner to express your sexual energy with or to build your energy with, don't worry about it. There's plenty of other ways to do it. I just happen to have this one way of doing it, and I bloody enjoy it, so that's what I do. Anyway, that's another thing. Anyway, I've been talking too long. This is it. Please check out my lesson that I'm going to be posting again. And if you enjoyed this video, by all means, make a donation. All energy returned is, of course, greatly appreciated, but will lead to good things for you too. Alrighty, thank you so much. Bye.